What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. My name is Splattercat, and I'm happy to have you here today as we do another episode of our LP of Warlock, Master of the Arcane. So where we had left off, we had been trying our Swirly-Doo, the Swirly-Doo offensive against Rajak, and it was working out swimmingly, although we're going to need some serious kind of magical resistance to kind of plumb our way into these depths over here. But first things first, we do have a rather large melee occurring over here. So hopefully we can get that taken care of. I don't know if I want to extend myself out much further, to be honest. And actually, why does he have no movement points? How very odd. How very, very strange. Nobody has movement points, but it started me out on a new turn. I'm a little confused. Alright, well, we've got Agrilla's healing here, so we're going to take that. And let's go start some new research. We have Blessing of Fertility. Experienced Mind. Oh, interesting. Slightly reduces the spellcasting time of a great mage. Yes, I am very interested in that, so let's go ahead and take that one. We've got 3 constructions ready to go, one in Chickenville. Chickenville is going to go ahead and spit out a mill of souls for us, because our gold production is perfectly fine. Our mana production is catching up, but that's going to get them right about even. And so, let's see here. Yeah, that should get us about up to 10.5 or so. It'll get us in the realm that we want to be at, the realm of Chickenville. Anyways, we have the opportunity to put in another magic tower up here, which is something that I am interested in doing. However, given our mana situation, I really would just love to drop bombs on my enemies. You know what I mean? I would love to just make it rain hellfire on my enemies. Just that same kind of mentality that invented the flamethrower. Like, I have fire, I want it on that guy. How can I make this happen? That's the kind of mentality and honestly, my flamethrower is my mana supply. It's bridging the gap between what I want and what will occur. So, Mortavia up here. Mortavia has had its opportunity to level up once again, and I think that Mortavia is going to go with a... Well, it's not producing much mana, but it is costing mana, so that's going to be a problem. So let's start stamping out a couple extra mana buildings there. And that's going to do it. We've got some bombardment that can take place, and I actually think that this entire round is bugged, to be honest. I'm a little confused what happened. All of my units should be okay to move, but for whatever reason, some of them don't seem to be. I pass turns in between actual videos, and I'm a little confused about what's going on, but hopefully we'll be able to solve it in the future. Now, we can recruit mages through Thalos, which is actually really tempting, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's make... Ooh, what is my... Let's see, 44... I don't know if I can afford it right now. I don't know if I can afford it at the moment. Those are actually fairly expensive units, so I'm going to hold off on the wizards for right now until we get ourselves into further trouble and lose some units. So... This guy right here, I'm going to have move over to here. And we're going to destroy this tower because this is the main one that's going to be in the way of all of my troops. And so let's bring the dwarves down. They should be able to bulldoze it with a single hit. Fantastic. Just an immaculate invasion there. This group of units right here needs to fall back and rest. So they're going to come back into the realm of Bulgaria and Thalos, get themselves nice and guarded. We also have Mount Worthless and the guards there, which I keep putting on sentry every single turn. And let's see, who's wounded here? We have the opportunity to heal him, which is exactly what we're going to do. And that's going to save us a turn that he would have otherwise been resting. So the clerics are once again paying off. We've got our zombies here. What were their resistances? None. They just had a ridiculous amount of health. So we will... Can they actually move? Ugh, their movement points are so atrocious at this point in the game. He just sounded like he said, "Ma-na-na-na." He's a zombie with attitude. Anyways, he's a zombie with flair. He's got his groove back, like Stella. God, my references just keep getting older and older. I used to work at a movie store, so like the instant reference that I make to almost everything is just a movie reference. We have the opportunity to heal, but we can't heal the Flying Galleus, so I'll put it on this hero instead. I love the way he whistles while he works. He whistles while he slaughters. He whistles while he whittles flesh from our foes. Leave Bulgaria on guard there, and these veterans are just going to hang tight right there as well. And then we'll end our turn, and we'll see what happens here. So I'm going to put him probably right here so that we can get at all 4 of these nodes before we go much further. And we don't have enough movement points to actually pitch our tent there, but, you know, tent pitching wasn't really what I had in mind as of yet anyways. That's actually kind of a worthless soldier unit right there, so I'm not really upset that he's getting bombarded. It'll work out in our favor, and I think this is probably a good time to push with our undead units from this corner as well. Just kind of get a nice pincer action going. Ooh, we've got an invasion of the wolves. Very stylistic, Kinglich. Very definite points for style right there. If you're going to invade, why not do it with wolves? He gets points for class right there. He gets points for class. The monsters are taking their turn. And so it looks like our ogre, honestly, part of me just wants to ignore this fire elemental, but part of me, on the other hand, thinks that he's probably going to push down to Bichton. Makes me laugh every time I read that, and I don't know why. It's not that clever, and yet it still makes me laugh. I just don't know. So we're going to come up here with the dwarves, and the dwarves are going to need a heal. They're actually taking a fair bit of damage. How much are they actually missing? They have 30 health left, so they're not that wounded. But I do feel as though great healing or greater healing? Let's go with great healing. We'll do that, and that's going to get them squared away and back up to snuff. We'll have this unit come in and take a swipe there because he does have the City Fighter perk. We'll start having our bombardment come in as well because they're going to be able to fire on the capital. We'll have the zombies come up, and they're actually going to start fighting with these magic towers, although there's really no point. It's really... Ooh, I thought they had a 4 range. They have a 3 range. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. I don't want to bring them into the range of the city, so we're going to leave them standing alone. And so, just listening to their Godsmack records. That'd be actually pretty hilarious if the Flying Galleus listened to Godsmack while it flew around. I don't think he's actually going to be able to cause any type of consistent damage on this elemental. It is what it is, but we are going to have him step up and in here, and we do have to get rid of him, unfortunately. So I am going to charge up fireballs and things of that nature to get rid of him. It's not something that I like the concept of doing, and we have Firestorm ready, so I may actually just rain a Firestorm right there, see how much damage we can get off. We'll see if they separate or not. That's really what's going to determine the efficiency of that attack. Ooh, gem mine, there it is. Plus 20 to our gold production, so we're pretty much set on gold for the rest of the game right there. Enemies at our gates, so we have a rat prince here that's trying to square away with my elite veterans, but it's not going to work. We're going to sally out and get a little bit of damage. We're actually going to have them fight there. This unit's going to rest a tad. Let's have this other group of veterans, to repeat myself, unfortunately. Had a Tourette's moment there. Go back. Anyways, we'll shoot him with that. We do have the opportunity to take another ranged shot at something. Oh, it's going to be these champions of Grumgog, of course. Just fighting with nature. Our natural enemies are proving so much more devious and challenging than the actual enemies the game keeps swearing away against us. I'm going to bring these generic warriors up here because I need to start killing off some of them, so we can start replacing them with actual veterans, higher tier units. Here we've got a level up, and so I believe what I will give him... I don't really know. How can you be a cover specialist in the sky? I guess using clouds, but it's saying that I'm using the terrain to my advantage, so I guess I'm hiding behind mountains and things. I'm using the little actual tooltip, literally. He's not actually that big, I guess. I'll take the generic armor resistance, actually. I feel like that's probably going to be more useful for me in the long run. These guys right here, you know what? They're generic soldiers, so I really don't care whether they live or die or not. And I know that sounds terrible. That's definitely not like a Patton type thing to say. That's not something that I would want the soldiers to overhear me saying. But unfortunately, it is indeed the truth. And then I think all we have left is our clerical guys, who I'm going to have them fall into rank behind the rest of these. Maybe they could throw some heals over the lines, get that going. And are these zombies or clerics? These are zombies. So let's send the zombies in as soaks as well. Kind of sponges. And I actually think over here it's time to roll out, as they say. And since these are immune to most of the damage that are going to be, or that is going to be inflicted on them anyways, I think they'll be perfectly fine pushing up in that way. Now that does leave us woefully undefended in this region. I do think we should probably get some more defenders going, and in that case, honestly, I really want to check out some mages. So we'll get 2 groups of mages going. We've got a nice little supply of cash, although not so much anymore. I do think that I should probably start upgrading everybody with the silver weapons too. That's kind of one of those upgrades that I feel, as it's been pointed out to me in my comments, is a good bang for my buck kind of payoff, and I do agree with that assessment. I think that's a very astute assessment, and so I think that's what I'm going to do. Now, they don't have the opportunity to take silver weapons, but they do. Maybe they have it already. We can give my zombies... Oh, I was hoping we could give the zombies ridiculous silver weaponry. Just kind of Van Helsing-esque, The Witcher type weaponry, which, by the way, if you've never checked out The Witcher, OMG. I'm going to spell that out for you. You should definitely check it out. The Witcher series is incredible. I never finished the first one. I felt like the game kind of dragged on too long. Like, I felt like they could have ended the narrative far before they actually did. And so that's why I never finished it. But, oh my goodness. Just raining. Okay. Alright. I see how it is. That's fine. I didn't want those units anyways. It's important to make sure your opponent realizes that you don't care and that you are just hell-bent on Operation Swirly-Doo being a success. Okay, and he's going to invade from that direction. Alright, that's fine. And the wolves are going to continue trying to bash their way through this line, which they're probably going to be successful pretty shortly. It's okay, though. And Nicholas Frost is still doing strange things with that grouping of units. I'm not really sure what he's moving towards. Like, no! Did that destroy my Galleus? I did the same thing twice, guys. I just don't learn. I just do not learn. And it's something that I'm apologetic about, but for whatever reason, I just can't get it out of my system. And so there we are. Horrorville is down, and that's going to alleviate the pain of the rest of those. And that leaves us with Crypt Hall and Dreadspell. For what I think for both, we're going to need a pretty substantial invasion in order to do any type of concurrent damage. We're going to let everybody rest for a turn or so. And so we took Horrorville, and I said I was going to name this one. Let's see here. We'll go with Bopo, because I promised somebody. There we go. And so that's Bopo, all in caps, because that's how they put it in the comments, so I can only assume. And this city is terrible. God. Alright, so far too many magic towers. Can I bulldoze those? Is there any way to, like, annihilate these? Yay, nay. I don't think I'm going to need magical towers against my good friend up there. I don't think he's actually going to have a problem with us. Let's get some construction going. What I think I'm going to do is we're producing cash up here. Yeah, let's just keep with that motif. I think that works out. It's definitely in debt, so we need to start producing some more money up here, get everything nice and evened out. We have the opportunity to build a building here up in Bopo as well. And so let's go with another mana trap. Why not? It never hurts, especially since we're about to drop a giant firestorm on our foes. Now, we do have an offer, and Rajak's going to give us... Yeah, sorry, bud, we're just not going to go with that. But no, we don't need your piece right now. That's really... You've walked yourself into a very, very bad corner. You should have left us alone earlier on in the game, but now I feel persecuted. And when I feel persecuted, my friend, that is when shit gets real. And then helicopters fly overhead, and I put on my shades. And then the doors are like, yeah! Anyways, so... let's see. We've got a cover specialist there.
Yes, my lord.
Let's go ahead and upgrade them with silver weaponry, give them a little bit of an advantage, because I don't want them out here just standing around, just flop-handed. That's a more polite way of saying something else, but I'm not going to waste my shot there. I'm actually going to start putting some arrows on the wolves over here, because I know they really don't have a great missile resistance. My veterans are going to come out and wipe them out. Let's go ahead and take a swipe at them. Now that we've got the silver weaponry, I'll bring the veterans this way, and then we're going to drive them back and out of our territory, which is going to bring us into the firing line of that bat fort, I think. Maybe. I still get confused. I know it frustrates you guys that I don't remember this kind of stuff. I apologize. My memory, you know how it goes. Just airbrained half the time. Airbrained, hairbrained, but no density, unfortunately. So let's see here. We have the opportunity to give them... Let's give them Pathfinders. I mean, I don't really see them going anywhere, to be honest. But just in case. They've run out of useful upgrades. I'm going to give him... Let's see. Let's give him the Forced March. We'll give him a little bonus. And I think the final level up to the zombies is going to be a melee upgrade. And then we'll send them in and after Dreadspell in just a moment. We've got a pretty sizable attack force that's going to be turning, wheeling about, and coming after Dreadspell. And I have a good feeling about this. We may be able to just flip this over pretty quickly. At least I hope we can. I really don't want this to be a long, drawn-out conflict. We have a little bit of a surplus. And in this situation, I'm going to come back to Splattertopia, and I believe I'm going to just mash out some catapults, to be honest. I can't really afford too many of them, but it's something that I feel like we need. This group right here, honestly, I'm just going to let them get killed because I don't care. It's, once again, it's one of those situations where not that useful having tier 1 units anymore, so the more of them that die off, the more tier 2 units I can make. This fire elemental over here is striking me as... Why is it taking so long to cast? That's a little frustrating that it takes that long to charge up some kind of AoE, but... Let's see. We have the opportunity to press into this territory, which I think we shall do.
Yes, my lord.
I'm going to leave them where they're at for now. We have his warriors and a group of my warriors. Actually, why not bring this group? He doesn't really have anything to attack us with, so this defense force down here doesn't strike me as being utilized to their full potential. We did lose a Gallius, so let's go ahead. Oh, we can't afford it. Well, humdrum then. Never mind. Ho hum. We have the opportunity to slang a heal, and so let's find somebody here that could use it. Let's put it on our Rat Prince. That's going to work out in our favor. We probably have another heal that we can slang as well. Oh no, we just have archers that are ready to go. So let's bring the archers one step out of Crypt Hall, get them ready for the invasion. I think I'm going to send the skeleton warriors in first, just to let them soak a little bit of damage too. And the zombies, yeah, zombies, my Zeddy friendies. My Zeddy buddies, will send them in. Let's bring my ogre down. Honestly, I don't feel good about this invasion unless I bring my ogre down to defend. I don't really know what I'm going to do about this blob up here. Elf bush, God. Oh, it must be needy times up in Nicholas Frost's territory. Times must be dry. That's all I can say about that. The Freudian names of his cities. And an artifact has been acquired. Enemy Lord is dead. All artifacts he had are now yours by right. Coldstone. And so it looks like a magical item gives us elemental resistance. Can he use that? Let's go ahead and go to our Hall of Lords and see if he has the opportunity to equip that. I don't think the bow is going to be much use to me. Yikes. So let's see, we could put the Coldstone in any one of these guys. Let's see who has the worst elemental resistance. 100, and yeah, that's definitely going to be going to my Rat Prince, just to get him evened out a little bit, just so he doesn't take too much damage, because he's ultra squishy right now. He's also fluffy, and he's nice to kind of pet and stroke, because he is a rat, and rats are one of my favorite pets that I've ever had, but, you know, on an ulterior side, I don't know what that group's doing. Yeah, I knew we were going to take arrows right there. It's a pretty sizable grouping of wolves. That is a wolf pack. And so he got driven back but not destroyed. And now he's going to be destroyed. That's fine. Not worried about it. Trying to get that extra little bit of food back. And they're going to smash against our veterans right there. Take a little bit more bombardment on that front. And Nicholas Frost is going to move around in kind of a suspicious manner there. And that was actually what I was hoping would happen, is the neutrals have actually started to fight with Nicholas Frost. So a little bit of a betrayal there, but it's going to work out in the long run. Let's resolve this turn and see how we can get it going. And we'll take our first shots on Crypt Hall there. And we're not going to get much done, unfortunately. We are going to have to, maybe I didn't move these quite appropriately the way that I wanted, but it's something. We'll keep our zombies moving. We're going to move them that way, I guess, and then we'll have them swing through here. They'll take a little bit of extra bombardment, but I'm not substantially worried about it. He'll take his first swing on Crypt Hall. Let's go over here. We'll take the clerics. And honestly, I see good things for the clerics, so I'm not too worried about those. I do need to bring the Gallius down, so let's bring the Gallius on down, see if he can get some bombardment going in the next turn or two. We'll bring this hero down. He is going to take some damage, but unfortunately... There we go. That was actually a pretty sizable move for one turn. I've actually... God, and look at his buff bar at the bottom left. He has so many buffs at this point. He has just been wonderful for us. He's worked out very much in our favor. I'm going to drop Firestorm right there. And I think that's going to give us a little bit of extra damage. Help out Nicholas Frost a tad so we don't totally feel like we screwed his pooch, which is much worse than screwing the generic pooch. And then Rajak, I don't think he has much left. I don't feel as though he's really got anything to throw at me at this point. Oh, I didn't actually... Did I take care of business over here? I can't remember if I did my full range of actions over in this spot. I may have just gotten ahead of myself. Maybe I did, though. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I don't really think they're going to break through here to Bulgaria, though. It's got a pretty good amount of health. We've still got a group of veterans that have yet to join the combat down there. He's got halberdiers. I want halberdiers. Hopefully our halberd hall gets done pretty soon. It may be in my interest. I see here we have another offer or two. It may be in my interest at this point to stand down with... Because Rajak is pretty much neutral at this point. He's more or less worthless. He's not going to get much done. My ogre has entered another round of ogre combat, unfortunately. I was hoping things like that wouldn't happen, but alas, it has. So let's send this group of warriors up to here. Let's move those archers out of the way. Let this group of warriors walk. Their movement range is really just beginning to become a frustration. Let's see here. We'll have them attack Crypt Hall. My Rat Prince will take a swipe at it, and then we'll throw a heal on him because I don't see him lasting another turn if I don't throw a heal on him real fast. So we'll throw great healing on him, I think, which is better than good healing. It's great. Spell research is done. We've got casting speed increase. Very nice. So I have to cast that on myself, I would think, but we're looking like we're generating a lot of resources. Volcano. That's the type of destruction that I can get behind, so we'll grab that. We've got a number of buildings that can be constructed in this turn. The mana farms are going to take precedence, so we're going to keep those going. We're producing a good amount of mana from here, and I'd like to keep it that way. This town is just now getting started, but it's surrounded by deserts, which tend to be pretty bountiful or pretty productive within the realm of mana farms, although it doesn't seem to want to let me build another mana trap, so I suppose I'll go with a cash building. A marketplace, that is, if I wanted to use the correct terminology. Down here at Vindoland, we have the opportunity to build a number of buildings, but I think first and foremost, you know, I really like the Wizards Guild, but I don't think I'm going to step on it just yet. I really think that I should probably go with something a bit more practical here. It's not producing anything in the realm of food, so maybe I'll go with that, so that it's at least positive on food. Hear me, mortal. Oh, that's even better. King Lich just made peace with me. That's fine. And he wants to trade me elemental regeneration for lesser heal. That's clearly a ripoff, but to keep him in my corner, I'm just going to let him have whatever he wants at this point. It's not something I'm going to argue with him about. Now we do have the opportunity to fight with some neutrals over here. Yikes, that didn't do very well for us. Let's go ahead and take these veterans back down and get them squared away. Since we made peace with him, we actually get the chance to save this group of veterans, which is going to work in our favor. And we have the opportunity to take one more shot from here to somewhere. Let's see, where can I fire? Oh, it's going to be at those skeleton warriors. You get a feeling for it after a while what you can shoot at, and those are shadow towers, so that's kind of worthless to me. We have the opportunity to take another shot right here, and it looks like it is indeed regenerating. That's a little bit of a disappointment. We've got some level ups, so let's give our zombies regeneration. What could be worse? Although I think movement points may have been the better decision there, but I clicked already. It's too late. We'll give them the defense bonus, I suppose. That seems alright. Take the third upgrade right here. We'll give him elemental bombardment. Yeah, that's what I like to see. And so that's going to work out. 36 damage with a crit to a 57. Very nice, very nice. And so we'll let them rest. I don't know. They probably got blasted by Dreadspell, unfortunately. We'll bring that up to there. It's a large enough city to where I'm not able to gauge its potential reach very accurately, so I'm just going to give it a wide berth while we do war. We've got another group of veterans here. We're going to have them close the ranks, take a swipe at the city. Our hero's already had his move. These guys down here, I'm actually going to disband. We're going to get rid of them because I just don't see the use for tier 1 units at this point in the game. I'd like to get myself stocked up and squared away. I'm also going to get rid of this group of zombies because I don't see them actually making the cut deeper into enemy territory. This group, however, is going to hang tight because I feel like they're going to be useful to me. So we'll put him here, and that's going to give him enough range to take a shot at Crypt Hall. This unit, I think, is going to take Bulgaria. We're actually going to put them on guard, put them on point. We have the opportunity to upgrade them, but I'm going to allow my money to tick up a tad more. We have our first wizard, which is very cool. Let's take a look at his stats and get a feel for what this unit can and can't do. So he's immune to life magic. He has a super cool perm. He's got a rather pimpin' perm going on, so he's apparently kicking it in the hood with his teal jumpsuit, but he's got 22 health, so he's pretty weak. He's a bit of a glass cannon, but he does have frost or ice arrow, which is going to do 18.7 damage with a 3 range, which that's pretty impressive, and it's going to apply a bane, or it's going to act with a bane, I guess. I don't really know what a bane is. I can assume that's a weakness, would be my assumption. Now, the clerics, I'm just going to have them sit right here in this cozy little spot on the mountain, firing heals at all my invading forces. There's the possibility that Dreadspell, I don't know if that's going to count as a 5 or a 4. If it's a 4, Dreadspell is going to get away with that fire, which is a little unfortunate, but, you know, I'm on the winning team right now. I don't really, it's not a big deal to me. Not a big deal. Mages, alright. So what do I want to do with my mages? Well, I do need them to start getting some XP, but I don't think they're going to make it to the Western Front in time to actually get anything done. We have a group of dwarves up here that I would very much like to see combat shortly. I think in the next turn or so we're going to get Crypt Hall squared away, so I'm not really worried about that. And then from there we'll just Swirly-Doo. Operation Swirly-Doo will be a success from there. We'll consume Dreadspell in a maelstrom of fire and pain. We can get ghosts. That's interesting from Chickenville. So we'll have to check those out in the next turn. What do ghosts do? Actually, I'll make this one just a minute or so longer. They're immune to like everything. They have a massive upkeep. They do quite a bit of damage, but it's death related, which isn't going to be too useful against any of the enemies that I'm up against. They have a weakness to elemental magic and life magic though. So they're useful. I would expect their movement range to be a little bit better. I don't know why my ghosts are walking. They're definitely not the Casper variety, which I would hope for. But in any case, this has been Splattercat. We're here in the Nerd Castle taking a look at our Let's Play of Warlock Master of the Arcane. I'm so glad that you decided to join me here today. I hope it was an enjoyable experience. As always, if you have any critiques or anything you'd like to see, please put them down below along with your city name ideas, and I will try and get them worked into the next episode. I'll see you guys next time, and take care out there, everybody.